Okay, this is a guide to how to reinforce, or good rules of thumb for reinforcing, because they're different for every room. We are currently on the map Villa, an Aviators and Games room, which you will see a small map on the upper left-hand corner. And I will show you what are good rule of thumbs to keep in mind when you want to reinforce. So first, you don't want to reinforce in between sites. This is B site, and there is A site. Usually someone will make something called a rotation. This gives you just an impact grenade or a shotgun. With that, you'll be able to go in between sites. You do not want to cut off usually in between sites, mainly because if someone plants on this site, and if there's reinforcements in the middle, the enemy can just funnel you through an entrance. You don't want that to happen. So that is rule number 1. Rule number 2. Keep in mind outside of the sites. This right here is the outside. This is where the attackers will most likely come in and just shoot through. That's our site right there. We don't want them to shoot into the site because we're going to be guarding it. So what we do is we use something called reinforcements. With reinforcements, it is now bulletproof. Pretty basic. So when we are the attackers, coming in,
if you remain in this zone, you will be detected by hostiles.
You want to shoot in sight. Reinforcements checked us in the site, while the soft one does not. It's bulletproof. In fact, if you shoot enough of it, it'll make a hole big enough so you can even see the other side. Like that. We don't want that. In general, we want the attackers to come through these doorways so we can hide behind stuff and shoot them down. So first rule of thumb, outside of the site, guard and reinforce. And since this wall is also facing the same side, we'll reinforce this as well. Now that we got that reinforced, we can now safely assume that the attackers will not come through that corner room. Now, what else should we worry about? We still have 6 reinforcements. Well, one could be a wall like this one. I call this the key wall, because walls like these are essentially key to defending a site. Like the wall on the other side. This corner here, the attackers can come in. There's a window right here. They can rappel in and shoot through. A room like that, which is in between sites, but isn't a rotation, is called a connector room. Sometimes people make callouts called connector. Like Sledge and Connector, or Legion and Connector. These connectors are insanely strong, because you get to control both sites from this one spot. So, go ahead and reinforce it. If it doesn't violate the in-between sites rule, it is okay. What else? Well, if the attackers gain this hallway, which is quite possible, considering the stairs are right here, and the door earlier is right there, it is pretty nice to have it pretty reinforced, because we don't want to get shot. And these walls as well. Now we have all the basics. As long as we can see here, there's no way for the enemy to shoot into the site through a soft wall. And we have defended, or secured, the connection with a nice reinforcement. We have one left. That can be spent where else? Sometimes in sight, especially console at second floor, you reinforce in between these 3 walls. Okay, I'm back to show it on a great example. This is the map Consulate, pretty popular, and this is second floor, which is the most popular site on this map. Debatable, I guess. So, with 2 rotations in between A site and B site, which you'll see on the small map on the upper left-hand corner, and then we'll reinforce in between the sites. This does not violate the first rule, because you can still enter the other site like before, and you can still peek the other site. You may ask, but why do this? This actually adds an extra bit of complexity, but you'll see why in just a second. The attackers will usually grapple up here on these double windows, because it is an easy way to get into sight and hold a long angle. If I'm on this window right here, I can peek all the way back into that corner. This whole hallway is my control. Now, Additionally to this control, we don't want them to give this control. Why? Because if you look straight, you can actually see the other side from that window. If the enemy has planted a diffuser on a site, and if you have someone looking through there, like a sniper, you don't want them to give vision on this other site. It makes you, as a defender, a harder time. So, what you do is you reinforce this, so there's no way for the enemy to shoot or see into the other site. There are specific sites that do this. You're going to have to learn that yourself, or there might be videos. Pro League does that. But this is the exception to the first rule of reinforcing in between sites. I hope this video helped you, and I hope to play you around very soon. Thank you.